A robbery so calculated. It froze the nation December 19th, 2004, a cold Sunday night in Belfast. The city, draped in festive lights, had no idea it was about to witness one of the most chilling, calculated robberies in British history. It didn't start at the bank. It started at home. Two families, two separate lives, intersected by a single nightmare. He was taken at gunpoint, not for ransom, but for obedience. Miles away, in Polglass, another Northern Bank official, Kevin McMullen, was ambushed by men dressed as police. His wife was taken to kidnapped in the middle of the night and held in a secret location. These weren't impulsive criminals. In Downpatrick, a young bank employee, Chris Ward, had just settled in for the evening when masked men burst into his home. The message was simple: cooperate, or your loved ones don't make it through the night. Monday morning, December 20th, because the real robbery hadn't even started yet. The city stirred to life as usual. So did Ward and McMullen. Only their day had already begun under threat. They greeted colleagues, acted like nothing was wrong. But these weren't thrown together. They were stacked with military precision, concealed under office furniture. Blank paperwork and cardboard, making it look like routine waste disposal. But they were living a quiet, hellry second, ticking louder in their ears, knowing their families were being held hostage somewhere out there. This time, the van wasn't armored. It wasn't official, but it was expected. Under constant instruction, via burner phones, the two bank employees reported for work at Northern Bank's headquarters on Donegall Square West. Then came the test. Around midday, Ward was ordered to withdraw £1 million in high-denomination bills, £50s and £100s, and walk it out like it was nothing. He placed it in a bag and walked calmly to a nearby bus stop, where an unknown figure took it from his hands and vanished. A dress rehearsal, not for the police, but for the gang to make sure the real thing would run like a ghost through daylight. Again, they loaded it quietly, covered, concealed. No one inside the building suspected a thing. The vault hadn't been blasted open. There were no ski masks on CCTV. It was a robbery dressed in silence. Night fell again, and so did the weight of the operation. His wife was released into the freezing darkness of Drumkeirog Forest. She wandered through the woods until she found a house, half frozen, and raised the alarm. After closing hours, the staff left. The security guards remained, but Ward and McMullen, they stayed behind. The robbers wiped down every surface, removed the cups they had used, cleaned fingerprints, and vanished, leaving no trace except the haunting silence of an emptied vault. Step by step, they began loading crates of cash onto trolleys. This was war room level strategy. Hostages, infiltration, testing, execution, vanishing. A robbery with no fingerprints, no shootouts, and no known identities. They rolled them through service corridors to the bank's bullion bay, where armored vans usually came and went. Security let it through. No panic, no shootouts, no alarms. Others were worn, circulated, and impossible to trace. It included British pounds, euros, and US dollars. But the sheer scale and planning of it shocked everyone. Police, government, even criminal circles. Just 2 employees wheeling millions into a white van under the pretense of trash collection. Likely circulated across borders, cleaned, spent, and forgotten. But the used notes, gone, untraceable. One financial advisor had £2.3 million stashed in his home in County Cork. He was convicted of money laundering years later. Another suspect, Chris Ward himself, was arrested and charged, but the case collapsed. No evidence, no conviction. The first load went out in 15 minutes. By the time the van returned for a second run, they had 2 more trolleys filled. 9 p.m. The bank was empty. Alarms set. Everything looked untouched. Ward and McMullen were escorted back to Ward's house, where the masked men were still holding his family hostage. Once they were gone, McMullen drove back to his own home. At 11 p.m., the final call was made. Chris Ward picked up the phone and simply said, "The bank has been robbed." The haul was staggering. £26.5 million in cash. Some of it was brand new, freshly printed northern banknotes. And the fear that was worse. This wasn't a snatch grab. The British government, Irish authorities, and security services all pointed fingers at the Provisional IRA. They denied it. Sinn denied it. The truth, still locked away, just like the faces behind those masks. Police raids followed. Dozens arrested. Houses searched. Bank executives questioned. No one was ever officially held responsible for the robbery. Northern Bank responded by withdrawing its entire supply of banknotes and reissuing new ones with different designs and serial numbers. The Northern Bank robbery didn't just steal money, it stole peace of mind, stained politics. It soured trust between governments and shadowed the fragile Northern Ireland peace process. It was, and remains, one of the most precise and high-stakes bank robberies in UK history. And the masterminds behind it, still out there, still uncharged. Because the kind of men who pull off a robbery like that don't get caught.